Good morning, everyone. Vivek here with another episode of the Narrative Ops Playbook. Today, we are going to talk about an important subject, the ICP Messaging Matrix. Right? I have seen most of the SaaS founders and SaaS companies getting it wrong always, right? So their messaging always tries to speak to multiple people and things like that. So the more people your messaging tries to speak to, the fewer people it actually connects with. Remember that always. Generic messaging isn't safe. It's the most expensive mistake you can make. So today, I'm introducing the ICP Messaging Matrix, a framework you can use for building messaging that hits differently for your exact buyer, right? So you need to be really specific and you really need to speak to your ICP in such a way that they connect with your message and they take the next easiest step possible, right? So let's take a look at what this is. So basically, the matrix maps your buyer across two axes. Horizontal axis is the role, technical buyer versus business buyer, right? Vertical axis is about the pain stage. Is it an acute pain or is it a latent pain? So this gives you 4 distinct quadrants, each requiring a completely different message approach, right? So if you look at the left-hand side corner, it is technical buyer having an acute pain. Right-hand side is a business buyer with an acute pain. Then coming down, it is a technical buyer with a latent pain and a business buyer with a latent pain, right? So technical, business buyer, these are the people whom you're talking to, right? In pain, if I have to talk about the pain, acute to latent is how urgent their pain is. So you need to have 4 quadrants and all 4 of them will have a different message, right? So moving on. So same product, completely different message based on your buyer. For example, technical buyer will be a developer or a CTO or an engineer. He cares about how it works, what is the architecture, how is the performance, is it a reliable solution? They also talk about, the integration complexities. Are the APIs available? Is the SDK easy to use? Existing stat compatibility and technical specs. What is the throughput, latency, and scalability limits and things like that. Whereas a business buyer, he might be a VP of sales or a founder or a CMO, who cares only about the outcomes and time to value or return on investment, basically, right? So how fast does it pays off? What is the impact on going to be on the revenue? How can I reduce costs? What is the efficiency of this tool? What is the ROI and business case? Can I justify this to my CFO or CEO? These are the questions your business buyer will have. Same product, completely different messaging if you look at it, right? I hope you're understanding what I'm trying to bring here. So each quadrant will require a different message track, right? For example, acute pain. That means I have a problem right now and I need to fix it. Whereas latent pain, I don't know I have this problem yet. So 4 quadrants, 4 different distinct message tracks actually. Technical buyer with acute pain always lead with a fix, right? For example, lead with your solution. Speed matters here because they are having the trouble right now. You need to solve it right now. They know the pain. You just have to give the answer, right? Business buyer with acute pain, again, lead with cost of inaction. If you don't take the remedy right now, this is what you're gonna face. Anchor around ROI, what does the delay will cost them, etc. Similarly, technical buyer with latent pain, you need to educate them about the invisible risk. They don't know their problem yet, right? They don't need a problem, so you need to create an awareness before pitching it. Similarly, business buyer with a latent pain, you need to paint the vision, future state story, what's possible for them if they act now, right? That's what is very, very important for them, right? Moving on. Sorry, I just skipped it. So moving on. So technical buyer, you need to build for all the quadrants. You need to build one message track per quadrant for your top ICP segment, right? Then match each track to the right channel. For example, your website can talk about something. Your cold outbound can talk about something. Your sales deck can talk about something. Similar kind of things, right? So when your messaging maps to the matrix, you stop blasting and you start resonating, right? For example, for the technical buyer with acute pain, the best things that can work is the website hero and an outbound cold, which has the message that answers their queries immediately. Similarly, acute pain, a business buyer with an acute pain, website hero and sales deck, where you're leading with the cost of inaction. These are the two tools which can help you, two channels which can help you. Similarly, technical buyer with a latent pain, content or blog, educational content can help them. Your paid social can help them. Similarly, for business buyer with latent pain, thought leadership always works well. Email nurturing works well, right? Don't be adamant about pitching them immediately, but make sure you nurture them well with the right educational content. So that's how it works, right? So here is what you need to do. You need to buy your 2x2 right now, and you need to place your current messaging and see whether the quadrant is right, and you need to ask yourself which quadrant represents your best customers. Are you speaking to that quadrant specifically, right? If not, that's your messaging gap, right? You need to, when your messaging maps to the matrix, you stop blasting, you start resonating. So you need to do this 2x2 matrix right now. Map your best customers against your messaging and your ICP and see where do you fit. If your messaging gap exists, you need to speak to us, basically, right? If your messaging is speaking to one quadrant, your best customers might be in another. So we can help you with that. You reach out to us and ask for our deep teardown. For $3.99, we will analyze two assets of yours. It can be your homepage, it can be your sales deck, etc. We will give you a before and after rewrite of 3 to 5 key sections. We will also give you a note about what not to do. So if you're a team which is having gaps in messaging and you're thinking about a repositioning or a site rewrite or an outbound reset, please visit www.narrative-ops.com/teardown-request, and we will be more than happy to help you. Reach out to us and make sure your ICP messaging matrix is filled in, and make sure you have specific messaging for your each quadrant. Okay, I wish you all the best. This is Vivek here with another episode of the Narrative Ops Playbook. I'll see you soon with another video. Thank you.